Hey guys, welcome back to another Cook With Me. This one is featuring one of my favorite Mediterranean quinoa salads that I started making this summer and I kind of use as a staple when I don't know what else to cook and I need something quick, easy, and primarily without a stove. So this is another recipe that I made for my family on vacation. So again, I did make certain modifications to it so that everyone would be happy with it. But here I am just chopping up the cucumbers. What I love about this is you kind of just chop everything and then you cook the quinoa and you're done. It's a super easy, super quick recipe that kind of only takes 25 minutes start to finish because you can chop your veggies as you're cooking your quinoa and then it all just comes together. So while I'm just chopping up these veggies here, I just wanted to talk about the grocery store prices because yes, while this was filmed when I was on vacation, I have since come home and gone for my first grocery store shopping since being home, and oh my goodness, the prices. I had almost a completely empty fridge, so I did get more than I usually get, but when I saw that total going up and up, I was just shocked by how much I was spending. So what I'm planning to post next is a more budget-friendly video, and I want to make a couple videos of ideas of how to clean out the pantry to make your groceries last longer, and also some more budget hacks and tips so that as these prices are going up, there's more accessibility for good meals that don't necessarily feel like you're 100% on a budget. And I also feel like in this age of YouTube, we're kind of in like everyone talks about the clickbait culture of how do we get people to click. And yes, there is a certain balance of that, but also how to make these videos relatable to people so that they're more true to what they actually are. And where I live on the East Coast, and I think at least for America, the coasts tend to be more expensive, where you always hear about cost of living in California, cost of living high in New York and Boston, and I live in an area where cost of living is higher than the rest of the country. So when I go onto YouTube and I see these meals of like, oh, $1 per serving, and yes, you can really stretch your dollar in certain ways, but also I want to make videos that are true and that where my cans of beans are going to be like $1.29, where in middle of America you can get them for 69 cents. But kind of being a little bit more transparent with pricing and recognizing that there are areas that are not going to have dollar meals. But being able to share how I save money where I am so that when you're scrolling through and thinking, why is my bill so much higher? It's like because there are different prices for different people. And I think also something for me is yes, you can make healthy meals for cheap prices, but also finding that balance of being able to stay within fresh produce. And I know this is something that I will kind of talk about more in these budget-friendly meals, but like kind of combining fresh ingredients with frozen, because I use also a lot of frozen veggies, so I'm not at all, and canned beans, you've seen it in this video as well, of yes, I know that buying canned and frozen is cheaper, but I also do buy a lot of fresh produce like cucumbers and tomatoes, and those you really can't buy any cheaper, and those do have a tendency to drive your grocery bill up. But kind of finding that balance of not extreme cheapskate, I'm going to make every meal for $1, but finding ways that you can save money here and there so that overall your bill is less. So I know I kind of got off on a tangent in this video, and the whole idea is, hey, cook this meal with me, I'll tell you how to do it. But this one is super easy to make, and as you saw, it's just chopping up cucumbers, tomatoes, chopping mint, parsley, then you add in a can of chickpeas. You get your olive oil, some salt and pepper to taste, and then some lemon juice. And then here I am just cooking up the quinoa, and you're pretty much good to go. I also added some chopped red onions on the side for anybody who wanted it, also some feta cheese for whoever wanted it, and the grocery store I went to didn't have pistachios. Usually I use pistachios for this, but I had some macadamia nuts that anybody who wanted them could have them. I also was cooking for my family who eats meat, so I just took some chicken breasts, covered it in some low sodium Mrs. Dash, and just fried it up. And then it wasn't cooking all the way through, so I was going to leave them as big strips, but I wound up just chopping them into, I think, like thirds or fourths of those little strips, and then just kind of kept cooking them until they were cooked all the way through. I think one thing that's different about the way that I cook is that I kind of do meal bowls where I have all the individual components and then you kind of cater the bowl to however you want it, where you have the overall recipe and I cook all the components of it, but then I separate out what people might not want to put into their own portion. And what this really helps with is for those who are trying to eat vegan or gluten-free, they can make it what they want it to be and you're still only making one meal instead of making two meals, one that's completely vegan or completely gluten-free. I find it so much easier. Thank you guys for sticking along through to the end of this video, and I am super excited to see where this channel will go. I'm excited to share some budget friendly hacks, and I would also love to hear from you of what you would like to see. Give me some ideas for recipes or your own budget friendly hacks, and I'd love to create a community where we can cook together. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.